You mentioned the Thompson twins, both of them. And that isn't a question I have because in the videos that I have seen, and like you mentioned, their athletic ability is great. The shot is a bit of a concern for most people. And also the talent they played against. Can you speak to you've done way more research than us? Can you speak to the talent the Thompson twins went against, and was there a big enough sample size against good talent to justify taking them? Obviously top 6 in the draft.
Yeah, so I think I've always been confused, not necessarily confused, or just like the amount of attention that is put on the competition necessarily when we've seen them kind of, well, at least maybe my perspective. I know a lot of people haven't, watched them or covered them for as long. We've seen them come up through the high school ranks and develop and grow and still be the same guys that they are and the ones that were able to be kind of flagship members of the overtime elite league. But they are playing against high level high school competition ranging from, 19 to 16 and being ranked anywhere from top 5 in their class to, top 30 somewhere in there, top 100 guys, all the likes. And, over the last 2 years, they have been focused solely on their games, developing. They don't have class. They don't have to do any of that. So it's a little bit different environment than, some of these other guys have been in, which is, I think, a positive long term. And we've also seen them play against professionals last summer, whether that be in the TBT, whether that be in their international tour where they played against Marc Gasol's team. And we've seen them play against the Adelaide 36ers of the NBL, who beat the Phoenix Suns in the preseason last year. They played a little bit different players in those, so it's not necessarily a 1-to-1, but they did still perform. Men a little bit better than Ausar. They performed at a high level, and the things that they do well translated. They also played against Nikola Jurisic and Mega last summer as well, who will be a draft pick in this draft somewhere in the early second round, likely. So, in saying all of that, getting back to the point, we've seen them in a lot of different settings and a lot of different situations, and what they do has always stood out in the same way.